So they told me to tell my story, to bring it to heart, and help people understand that come on this channel where sobriety came from in my life, where scared straight came from in my life, and where scared sober came from in this new life, in the lightened life. I had a bright idea, you see that once in a while, to be straight with people out there, to be straight with those that are newly sober, somewhat sober, fighting sober, staying sober, but struggling sober, and not growing within, and seeing what the outside is doing to them on the inside, not having that inner strength, that inner size versus the exercise, not having that ability to stay strong with the command to expand in you, through you, for you, by not letting the demons on the outside, the old you, get into the new you that is born in the heart by living with heart. I had to go through that. I had to grow through that. And at my age, those that come on here may be, of course, teenagers, young 20s, 30s, whatever your age is, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever your sobriety age is, whatever your sobriety time is, whatever your sobriety reasoning is, there is a reason to be scared straight. Now, many times people say, don't live in fear, and even in my life coaching, the word in my writing is false evidence appearing real. The fear, that's the fear in life. Sometimes we get scared of things. And what happens, though, is ego versus spirit. Sometimes many times the ego will win out in fear. And in my story here, what I knew had to be the new me here was to turn the nowhere to now here. The nowhere to now here. I had to live in the moment of now, meaning at this present moment, and not have depression from the past or anxiety from the future. What's going to happen, what I think is going to happen. Every time I needed a new light in life idea, I wanted to do this, I wanted to make money here, I wanted to be in this business, do that. It was all in the future, what's going to happen. And then those dreams, those ideas would demolish and turn into the past depression. And it was this and it was that. It was this, it was that. It was never this moment. And what happened in 2012, 13 years ago to this day almost, on October 2nd, 2012, I had celebrated. So this is kind of deep in the timeline, but I had been in an epileptic football accident on October 2nd, 1988. I was already an alcoholic in high school. I was already having struggling problems with partying too much, drinking too much. And at that point in my life, I had suffered a severe football injury and was in a coma for 3 days and nearly had brain surgery, probably nearly died at that point. Came out of it, but I was living with epilepsy for the next 25 years. So fast forward 25 from 88 is 2013. At that point, I was in jail at one point. In that 2012 time period, where I had 4 DUIs in 11 years. I had completely demolished my life from past success, a past loving marriage, a past perfect life, and ended up in an 11-year period destroying myself because of alcoholism, because of being scared to not live without alcohol. What would life be without alcohol? I wasn't aware of that. But by that 25th year, with suffering off and on with epilepsy, surviving brain surgery, but drinking my way back into DTs, delirium tremors, drinking my way back into seizures, I finally sobered up, looked up, got up, and grew up in jail in 2012. So these timelines kind of go back and forth and back, but the point of this area right here is being scared straight to the point that I could not look back. There was a 51% rule, I called it, where I had heard other people talk about changing in life takes more than half of you to do the full amount of what the new you wants you to do. So get this, the 51% is more than half. I always got to that 40%, 45%, maybe even 49%. I want to change. I want to get sober. I have to change. I've been in jail before. I had brain surgery. I had epilepsy. I had epileptic car accidents. I had divorce. I had everything to incentivize me to change, but never that shift. 6 weeks in jail in 2012, October 10th, 2012 was my fourth DUI in 10 and a half years. October 10th to November 20th, I was in jail facing prison time, but I was in county jail for 6 weeks. I was in jail for 42 days. I was in jail for 1,008 hours. I was in jail long enough to count the hours, to count the time, to understand that I had to rewind and reset my mind. Control, Alt, Delete. To a new mind, a new state of mind, that I had to say, I have to rewind, understand, and learn from the past, not live in it, and get out of it, grow from it, and have goals in the future. So by 2013, I was able to change my lifestyle, sober up, live healthy, eat healthy, get rid of all types of processed foods, sodas, chemicals, especially red dye 40 chemicals like that were causing anxiety, ADD, ADHD, and also causing relapses of seizures that I found out in my body. Now, this may not pertain to everybody, because there's no body like your body. You're not just one body. You're not just anybody. You're not a nobody. You're unlike everybody. You're the one body that matters most. And my body was in my mind and in my heart. The heart of passion, the heart of health, the heart of wellness. Everything was there in my heart. But I had to take action. Action was up here. But in between was a mouth full of excuses. And I found that out by sobering up, by looking up, by getting up, and like I said before, like growing up. And by that first year in sobriety, meditation came over medication. Meditation over medication, in my point. I'm not pushing this on people, but I'm letting you know I had to meditate before I medicated. I got off medication, got off alcohol, got off fast food, changed my life. Epilepsy went away. Seizures went away. Alcoholism went away. AA in those meetings were the command to expand in me. I had to get sponsors. I had to go to 1-2 meetings a day. I had to just say I'm focused on sobriety, health, wellness, everything. So with 4 DUIs on your record, 3 technically in a 10-year period, you lose your license for 3 years. You may lose it for more, you may lose it for less, but in my case, and every case was different, I lost it for 3 years. So I had a 1.5 year time period where I could not get my license back. I could go on probation and have a alcohol monitoring device, but during that 1.5 years, I sold my truck. I didn't have car insurance. I got rid of the insurance. I didn't have a license, so I bought a nice road bike and was riding everywhere, getting exercise, looking like a professional bicyclist. I lost 50 pounds in that 1 year and took a new life. So all those things technically in a 2-year period, I had been born again, a reborn life. Again, scared sober made me realize that when I went to the bars, when I went to the restaurants, when I say took a date out and she was drinking or things happened, I knew and I saw ahead of time. I was able to see from the present moment of now and live in the future and say, if I drank again, what's going to happen? I'm not going to be living in the future. I'm going to be living in the past and I'm going to die. So alcohol, 1 ounce, anything, any type of drink of alcohol was not a choice. And some alcoholics and some AA meetings will say, this is what we have to do to be in it. We have to live it and understand that if I drink again, I'm going to lose again. I'm going to lose my life. I'm going to lose things in every way. So I was pretty much scared straight. And that's where I got that from. The Scared Straight program, as many of you know out there, are when kids come in jails and they see you walk, they visit you. I was actually in that same jail when I was probably 7, 8 years old, 2nd or 3rd grade, and they took us to the jail to just walk through and see what inmates look like, see what jails look like, see what the cells look like. Scared Straight. That was the program at my Christian school here in Vista. So I went to the Vista detention facility as 8 years old. What happens 30 years later, a little over 30 years? I was that guy that they were looking at. Those kids were looking at me and I'm like, holy, look at this, like a flashback. Look what happened to me. I thought I'd never be like that. I had one finger pointed out, but I had three fingers pointed in. One finger pointed out in blame, or one finger pointed out and saying, that'll never be me. That won't happen to me. Well, it did. The three fingers pointed out when you blame somebody. Look inside, look at yourself. When you say that's never going to be me, and you're an addict, you're an alcoholic, you're a gambler, look inside, look at yourself. Look at yourself in order to grow. Look at your new self and the potential you have to grow. Eliminate between the mouthful of excuses at once again. Look inside, look in here, look in the mirror, and look in the rear when it comes to the past, but don't live in it. That's how I got out of it. So when I saw those kids walk through, when I saw the drugs, the alcohol in jail, my first drink came in mid-October, the second week there, when we had drink time, alcohol time in jail. Now, people that have been in jail, everybody knows that there is alcohol in jail, there is drugs in jail, people that have been there. People that haven't been there say, what are you talking about? That's a perfect place to sober up. So I thought. They were going around every lunch and every dinner collecting fruits. And I say they were the leaders in their different groups who were collecting fruit, and they would put it in a bag and they would ferment the fruit for 6 days. Because on the 7th day, there was a cleanup crew that would come through, the sheriffs would come through and make sure you didn't have anything like that. But for 6 days, the fruit would ferment. So by my first actual Saturday night in jail, they came around with a big bag of wine, basically, of fermented fruit and alcohol. And that is where I said no for the first time in my life to alcohol. It's pretty crazy when you think about that story, because people say no by sobering up, by just something happens outside, something happens in a relationship, in work, and you got to stop. I was saying no because I just said, I'm done. I'm done being done. And I had to look up, get up, and grow up once again and say, I'm taking charge. I don't want anybody to bail me out, for one thing. My parents tried to bail me out in a nice, loving way. I couldn't do it. I said, nope, I need to be here. I denied bail the first night. This is an actual true fact. It was a $2,500 bail. And when I got in there, I could pay 10%. I could pay $250 and get out. I didn't want to. I wanted to stay in jail a few nights because I knew if I went out, I was going to drink again. That night, I was going to get another DUI, and I knew I was going to face prison time. Something in me, God, higher power, whatever you want to call it, I knew that voice, that Holy Spirit said, stay here. Live in the here and the now, and you deserve it. You have broken the law multiple times. Stay here, and the new you will be born. So I said, sure, I'll do that. 48 hours, 72 hours, I thought. Well, 72 hours passed, and when I wanted to bail out, they had raised my bail to $75,000. I didn't have $7,500 to bail out, and I didn't want my parents bailing me out. I didn't want anybody else bailing me out. I said, I deserve it. Thank you. Thank you, over and over again. Thank you for the jail time. Thank you for the DUI. Thank you for the near homelessness I was facing. Thank you for losing my jobs, losing my marriage. Thank you. My attitude of gratitude came in for everything. Everything in life. That was the age that I faced. It didn't matter what age I was. Attitude of gratitude for everything. AGE. I had to turn the page and have a positive attitude of gratitude for everything. The new page was turned. My life was born again in jail. I didn't see it at that exact moment, but I knew I had to face it in order to erase it. And I had to stay there for a week, 2 weeks. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. Again, I was in a car accident that previous night on October 9th. And by sobering up October 10th, by the second week, I found out I was facing 1 year to 5 years in prison. If the lady that I had hit had pressed charges, she was okay. There wasn't too many problems. It wasn't a major accident. But if it was changed away differently and she pulled out a little bit farther and I had hit her, I'd actually ran over her hood with my 4x4, okay? That's the fact. So she pulls out and turns right at 11:30 at night in Oceanside. I'm coming back from the casinos completely sauced, completely obliterated, blacked out, 0.24 alcohol level. Man, I was lucky I didn't kill her, because if she had pulled out just far enough, I was going to hit her and kill her and her passenger. But what God's plan was for me to see that light in life was my truck went over her hood. A lifted 4x4 F-150 went over her hood. It felt like a speed bump. I woke up out of my blackout, looking at my truck, 180. I look up and it says Oceanside Police Station. And that was the light in life for me, to be born again October 9th, sober October 10th, deny alcohol a week and a half, 2 weeks later in jail, say I'm done, spent 6 weeks there, got out, My good friend and attorney got me out, got me an ankle bracelet for 6 months. I had 4.5 months with that ankle bracelet on, and it changed my life. It saved my life. I was scared straight and I was scared sober. By going back, by seeing those kids, by seeing me in their eyes, by seeing what I turned into 30 years later, by seeing what happened to me, by seeing the demolished life, where 15 years, not even that, 2012, 15 years earlier, I was married, working for the top pharmaceutical company in the nation, had $1 million home in Anaheim, married my high school sweetheart, had everything. The white picket fence, the company cars, the pharmaceutical drugs in the garage for samples back in the day, everything, perfect life. And within 3 years, I was homeless, living in my parents' house in 2005, facing brain surgery. So in that 7-year period from my divorce to my 4th DUI was literally 7 years of scared straight, 7 years of losing everything, the 7-year shift, I call it, the holy shift. The 7-year itch you might hear in marriage, I call the 7-year shift. I couldn't believe it because my impatience, my imbalanced life, my practicalities of, and this is impractical to be sober, my impossibilities, everything had to change. And in my first 3 years of sobriety from 2012 to 2015, again, going back from that 4.5 months of having an ankle bracelet, I couldn't drink. I couldn't do anything because it detects alcohol on your ankle. The ankle bracelet every 30 minutes would detect alcohol on your pores. It was like I couldn't drink. And so for 6 months, I didn't drink. And when I got that off, I didn't want to drink. And within that 3-year period, that shift, again, that holy shift, I said, thank you. The 7-year itch, as they call it in marriage, was my 7-year shift in life. And I realized, meeting my girlfriend at 18, married at 25, 18, married at 25, divorced at 32, homeless at 39. I woke up, got up, and grew up. And at that point, by 42, I had my driver's license, I had a new car, I had my insurance, I had my registration. Little things like that I had to be grateful for. So how often are you grateful for basic things like that? Like a car, like insurance, like your driver's license. You don't even think about that. But every day with that attitude of gratitude for everything in my life, I aged well. I went back in time because by the time I was 40 in jail, 41, I was looking like I was 51. By the time I became 51, people said I looked like I was 41. Don't care what I look like on the outside now, but at the same time, I was experiencing this new growth in my first 3 years, experiencing this new ability to turn down alcohol. To be scared sober was what I thought of back then. Not scared I'm going to run from it, stay away, but scared to be the realization of the spiritual awakening from the 12th step in AA, the spiritual awakening from my life to say, my heart is in command now. Not my brain, not my ego, not my mind, not the ego that says, you can do it. You only have 1 DUI. You can do it. It's okay. You only have 2 DUIs. You only have 3 DUIs. You only have 4 DUIs. Then you're digging your grave. You're digging your grave up and down. You're digging your grave. And I couldn't dig anymore, man. I had to look up, get up, and grow up, and I did it. That's what this channel was for. So my story in itself, I want to interview people like you, and like you, over there, anywhere, that have stories that have come back to create a success in your life that helps others, to create a success in other lives that help others, whether it's AA programs, sobriety, drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, whatever your addiction was and you broke it, let me know, because I want to grow with you in the now, in the moment of now. Own the moment of now, and you have won the moment of life. N.O.W. W-O-N-O-W-N. I learned that through meditation. I learned that through prayer. I learned that through acceptance. I learned that through awareness. I learned that through attitude. Meditation, awareness, and prayer. I had to map my way into a new life, the light in life. Map. Meditation and manifestation, awareness and attitude, prayer and positive thinking. You don't have to pray to be here, but at the same time I pray because I was praying to the porcelain god so much, I got sick of it. Sick and tired of being sick and tired is what they call it. So then I woke up, got up, and grew up, right? Keep saying that. By 3rd year, 2015, sober, I was just done. And I saw that fear in me, but I recognized it, I accepted it. That's a big thing about fear, recognizing it yourself, being your new self, accepting it, planning it out, knowing your day, what your day is going to be like, where you're going to be. Watch who you surround yourself with. The negative naysayers in my life are the ones I thank the most in my life. The trash talkers, the alcoholics that wanted to bring me down, the alcoholics that missed me, the alcoholics that I went to the bars with when I got out of jail in Oceanside. I was going to the bars, joking around, drinking a double club soda on the rocks, and having an ankle bracelet on because I had no other friends, man. They were all drinkers. They were all alcoholics. They were all people that had addiction issues. But when I saw them in my sober mind, getting drunk, getting stupid by an hour in, 2 drinks, 3 drinks in, 4 drinks, by the second hour, I started leaving. By an hour and a half, I started leaving those bars. By 60 minutes, I started leaving those bars. And I stopped going to the bars, man. After 6 months, a year, I didn't want to go anymore. It was the insanity of seeing why their lives were so miserable, whether it was relationships, divorce, jail, institutions, homelessness, everything you hear about that. I had to stay sober. I had to live sober. I had to grow sober. And sober wasn't a bad word. I used to call it so-beer. So-beer, you add another E on. So-beer bar and grill, I wanted to call something. It was, making fun of sobriety. Like, oh, you can't handle it? It became a machismo thing. And I know a lot of men out there think like this. A lot of women may think like this in a sense, but it's a man's thing to say, I can handle it. I can have another beer. I'm not going to drive, or this isn't going to happen again, or yeah, I got a DUI, it was my ex-girlfriend's fault because I had to go pick her up. I heard excuses like this all the time. I met one lady that had 3 DUIs and 3 different excuses with 3 different exes. And they were the kids, they were the situation at work, they were the ex-husband, blah, blah, blah. It was always excuses. So one excuse I came up with, the only excuse I ever used that word in, the excuse, was to excuse the excuses out of your life. Excuse me. Excuse the excuses out of your life. Excuse me. Those excuses became reasons for me not to go back. I recognized them. I acknowledged them. I said hello to them because the excuse was, have another beer. This will be fun. Have another beer. It's Sunday. It's only one day. It's NFL. Have another beer. It's Monday. It's Monday Night Football. Have another beer. It's Tuesday. It's baseball. It's basketball. It's dating. It's success. It's getting paid on Fridays. It's happy hour. It's breaking up. It's, oh, I can't handle this. I need to relax. So from having all the success in life and celebrating to having all the failure in life and escaping, it became every day. It became surrounding myself with alcoholics and people in particular that just drank 3 or 4 days a week. I drank 3 or 4 days a week. So what does that equal? 7, 8 days a week. Meaning the 8th day, it was a big blur. From Friday night until Sunday night, Monday morning, was all a big blur. And it was a big joke. So again, scared straight. I didn't want to be there. I wanted to grow here in the now and remember my weekends, remember my Friday nights, remember my Saturdays, remember my dates, remember my socializing. Anything I did, I could remember it now. Remember, regarding the member within our mind and our spirit, we have to bring that new light and life to life, that new life in our spirit. And that's what I did. 5 years went by, 7 years went by. 2019, I started writing a book. I had been published in 2016 in a co-authored book with Les Brown. Big speaker, big motivational speaker, was one of my mentors, is still to this day, but in 2015, 16, 17, a big mentor. I listened to him all the time. All of a sudden, bam, I was published in Living with Heart. Got my chapter in there, talked about it. So it inspired me to write a book in 2019. And then in lockdown in 2020, I just went full bore for 3 years. 2.5, 3 years just writing every day. It's called Thank You to the 1000th Power. Thank your way to gratitude to the magnificent power of being thankful, that is full of thanks, 1,000 times every day. Manifesting a positive tomorrow by living in a positive now of daily gratitude. So at that point in 7 years that I felt the shift, I knew the shift was happening. And throughout lockdown, drinking just wasn't an option. I didn't even surround myself with it. And when I came around and people were socializing and getting out there, that's who I was when I saw people at the bar. This is who I am when I saw a sober, healthy, fit, and cognitive mind, focused, happy in life. And this is who I want to be with goals in mind. I didn't want the past to interfere anymore. So I said thank you again and again. So Scared Sober is here to keep you sober, to keep you in the positive, to keep you in the now, and to keep you owning the moment of now through positive affirmation areas like that, positive steps in life, and also positive stories in life. So when you hear from coaches, speakers, teachers, anybody in life that's overcome these obstacles, you'll be amazed to understand their stories and amazed that there is a maze of things, a maze of things in our mind, our spirit, and our heart that are waiting for us out there in this new life, in this new sobriety, in this new love for life, in life, for life, through life, with life. So be there, grow there in the now, here, and own the moment of now. I keep repeating these things, but that's how I've done it. That's how I did Control-Alt-Delete. Reset your mind, reset your life. I want you to be a part of this too. Subscribe, like, and share down here. Share this video. Motivate others. Let me hear your story. Fill out the forms below, message below. Private message me on here. Join me on Facebook, on Instagram, Coach Stefan Rudolph, and look up those areas and grow the new heart. Because I knew when they taught me in church that here's the church, here's the steeple, open the doors, where's all the people? I didn't know. Here's the church, here's the steeple, open the doors, there's all the people. But this was like me in life. Here's the church, here's the steeple. I was all alone in life. So it doesn't have to be church, it doesn't have to be Christ, it doesn't have to be God for you. I put that out there for everybody because I am faith-based, but at the same time, that 12th step was a spiritual awakening that woke me up to the new life. And I wanted to be there. I wanted to sober up, look up, get up, and grow up, and I did it. I want you to do it. And if you have done it and are doing it, I want to hear your story. So go now and grow now, and share the light of love in everything. And that command to expand will light in you, through you, for you, by you. To be blessed all around. To know all around that there is this profound sound that's called your heart. It's called your life. It's called your light in life. Know it now. Live it now. Grow in the now. And enjoy the beauty in the fall of one life and the spring of another. Peace.